What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott, and here we talk about anything and everything photography, as well as other topics you may or may not be interested in. So with that being said, appreciate all you guys who have joined the channel recently. Today we're going to talk about getting sharper images. There's a few specific things that you want to focus on when you want to get sharper images. I've got some notes here I'll be referring to, so pardon me if I refer to them throughout the video. So first of all, you want to focus on your subject. That's key. That should be a given, right? Second thing is your f-stop. Okay, so each lens, pardon me, there is a sweet spot for where your lens is going to be the sharpest. The f-stops, the apertures are going to be the sharpest. Generally, that's going to be in the 1 to 2, 2 to 3 stops smaller than your widest aperture. So if your widest aperture is f2.8, your sharpest area is going to be 4, 5.6, or f8. So that's just across the board for most lenses in general. That's just how optics work. That's how lenses work. So that's going to be your sharpest range. Not to say you can't get relatively sharp images at f2.8 or f1.8, you know, however wide your aperture goes, but that's the general rule for that. Shutter speed. You want to make sure your shutter speed is fast enough to avoid any kind of camera shake when you're holding the camera. So generally what's said is you want your the reciprocal of the shutter speed, you want it to be no less than the focal length you're shooting with. So if you're shooting with a 50mm lens, you don't want your shutter speed to be any less than 1/50th of a second. If you're shooting with a 100mm lens, you don't want your shutter speed to be any less than 1/100th of a second. That's a general rule of thumb that can be broken. I will show you how to do that here in a few minutes. Number 4, if you're shooting a group of people, you want to make sure your depth of field is appropriate. Now, there is a difference between blurry photos and out of focus photos. But if you're shooting a group of people, you want to make sure your depth of field is getting everybody in focus. So, you know, depending on your focal length, because depth of field is dependent upon the distance from the camera to the subject and the subject to the background. You want to make sure your f-stop is small enough to increase the depth of field. So if you're shooting a group of people, in general, 5.6, f8, f11, those type of f-stops, those should be fine. Something I forgot to mention, I wanted to mention this first. You have a diopter somewhere by your viewfinder. There is a little dial with the plus and minus. You want to set that. You want to look through your viewfinder and you want to set that. So when you're looking through the camera, it's as sharp as possible through the viewfinder. The last point, you want to hold your camera properly. Now, I've seen a lot of people who hold their camera like this or like this. Well, this is a film camera, so I don't have a screen on the back, but they look at the screen on the back of the camera, they hold it out here, and they're doing photography like that. If you want to do that, that's fine, but I will show you a way to where you can stabilize your camera a lot better. You'll be able to gain a few stops on shutter speed to where you can shoot at lower shutter speeds, guaranteed, even without image stabilization. So here we go. All right, so generally you want to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, okay? You want to hold your camera with your hand up under here, just like that, to give your camera and lens support. Your other hand, your trigger finger, like normal. Bring it up to your eye. Take a deep breath in, let it out, shoot. It may feel weird if you're used to shooting like this, looking at the back of the screen, like this, like this. It may feel weird, but I guarantee you that practice will gain you a stop or two on shutter speed. It'll keep your hand steadier. Also, you want to bring your shoulders, your elbows in. Don't want your elbows out here. Bring your elbows in. Hand under the lens, under the body for stabilization. Other hand right here. You can focus just like that. Feet shoulder width apart. Bring it up to your eye. Breathe in, breathe out, fire. I guarantee you, you will start getting sharper images immediately. It may feel weird, like I said, it may feel weird if you're used to looking at the back of the camera, going like this, holding it with your elbows out, but that technique has been proven for decades. I guarantee, for decades. That's how we were taught back in photography school. It's just facts. So if you practice those things, you will get sharper images. I appreciate every one of you. Leave a comment in the comment section. Ask me questions if you have questions about anything else. If you want me to review anything else, feel free to leave those in the comment section. Do you shoot like this already, or do you shoot at looking at the viewfinder and with your elbows out? Let me know if you do try this. Go on some test shoots. Bring a subject, bring a friend, a family member, and just try it. I guarantee you it will work. So hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.